Hey again, friends. Last we left off, I had successfully married and then replaced God. And my followers, having fulfilled their purpose, were finally allowed to live peacefully. But then the good folks at Massive Monster dropped a massive free update to the game, so well, back to it, I guess. With this new update, we meet our new friend, an elder god from beyond our realm, who I've named Tim. Tim tells us that by defeating the bishops, we've left them in a limbo between life and death, forever trapped, unable to move on. And that was very rude of us. In order to fix this, we need to kill them. But kill them in a way that brings them back to life. Just like in the base game, to get to the bishops, we're gonna have to do some crusading. But these ain't your granny's crusades. About a minute into my first run, I got mugged for 3,000 gold, so we're off to a great start. The door to these crusades are a little demanding. The last two doors require a sacrifice of a level 7 and a level 10 follower respectively. Charles, who is literally my first follower, was at level 6. So to get through these doors, I would need to groom 2 different followers into loving me more than I've ever been loved before. Which luckily, I am not above doing. But hold on, you're not going to leave the house looking like that, are you? With the new update comes new fleeces. The Curse Fleece disables your weapons but buffs your curses. The Fleece of the Berserker is the Chad version of the Golden Fleece. Instead of taking double damage with your own damage increasing after every kill, you deal times 10 damage right off the bat, but die instantly. Fleece of the Hobbled Heels makes you faster and starts you off with more health, but it disables rolling. The God of Death Fleece lets you get 2 diseased hearts when you resurrect. The Fleece of Fervor's Favor lets you use Fervor to heal and is probably my favorite of the new ones. And finally, the Fleece of the Old Faith proves you have at least $5. Weapons now also have heavy attacks that do more damage and break shields, evolving the gameplay from dodging and waiting for the right moment to hit X. The main difference between these runs and the old ones are the Relics and God tiers. Remember the 2 owls that give you weapons and tarot cards? Well, they also happen to have a cracked out sister that provides you with relics. Relics are items that give you an active ability. This relic lets you become a giant. This one lets you call in a storm of lightning, and this one gives you a stand ability. Hey guys, it's me, Dio Lambo. The next big changes to the Crusades are God tiers. God tiers are new Crusade rewards that can be given to Tim for one of 4 prizes. These prizes include the new follower forms, which are a little cursed, pieces for the new fleeces, new necklaces for your followers, and last, but certainly not least, Forgotten Commandment Stones, which let you go back and choose the doctrines you didn't choose the first time around. Finally, I can have a wedding and make my followers fight to celebrate. Bro, how did you lose to an old man? You were literally God. But better than any God's tier reward is what we've all been looking forward to this update. Because after you finish the Crusades in every respective region, you can finally have the bishops as your followers. Purgatory is the brand new game mode where you can do extended runs and try out new fleeces you wouldn't normally use. Each fleece has its own set of levels that get harder and longer as you go on. Purgatory also has the great benefit of freezing time outside, so you can spend as much time crusading as you want without your entire cult starving to death in your absence, even though I know you can cook, Nariander. It's also probably the best way to get God's tiers, and with the new update, for the sake of you and your cult, you're gonna want a lot of them. With the new update, the standard of living for my followers has changed for the burst. With the Forgotten Commandments, followers in my cult are now allowed to die of old age. This is because I've learned that genocide of the elderly is wrong, and it is not because A, I needed dead bodies to test some of the new buildings, and B, because I've dug way more graves than I'd ever need. Those are completely irrelevant facts. You've been old long enough. They also have gained the ability to cook for themselves, and with the time I'm saving, we've been experimenting with alternative food sources. Most useful of the new buildings is the shared living space. For far too long, every member of my cult has been able to be a successful homeowner, but now I'm able to cramp them all into apartment complexes because I control the housing market. Beyond the apartment complexes, I've also built a special neighborhood for the elite, separate from all the plebeians. Followers in my cult now also get actual funerals, where they're honored by their fellow cultists, as well as them unionizing recently and getting paid days off. That's gotta be enough good karma to redeem me from the base game, right? And if you want, you can also just straight up murder them, which I'm sure you're doing for some important gameplay reasons, and not because one of your followers said that you were a pussy if you didn't. right? Now, with all the changes laid out, I'd like to do something new for my channel, and actually give a review. The Relics are a really good addition. They add good replayability to the runs and are really fun to use and collect. Giving the weapons heavy attacks really shakes up the gameplay and keeps it a lot more interesting. The God tiers in Purgatory give a lot of incentive to keep doing Crusades even after you have all the bishops. Now, if you've seen my first Cult of Lamb video, first of all, thanks. And second of all, you know that one of my issues with the game is after you get the one who waits as a follower, he becomes really boring. Well, in the new update, him and all the bishops actually have custom voices. You can also recruit his bodyguards as followers and return them to their long-lost mother. It's nice to see them as actual characters with a plotline and a character arc instead of just appetizers to the final boss. I'm glad that the content updates seem like they're going to be fleshing out more characters. As far as what the update meant to add, I have very few complaints, besides them making the purple fleece kinda ass. What I do take issue with is something they probably didn't mean to do, which is break a lot of shit. The main thing I've noticed is on several occasions, the one who waits came to give me a quest and then he just stared at me blankly and said nothing as I was locked in the interaction. A funny one that happened was when I was done giving a sermon, nobody actually left the church until they all left as one, like, conglomeration. It was like from out of the fucking thing or whatever. These glitches really aren't a big deal. I know the soft locks are annoying and all, but the update as a whole has been really amazing, and I'm sure it'll be patched soon. I was actually really surprised they came out with an update, because initially I thought, you know, they were just gonna come out with the base game, and it was like, fucking, there we go, baby, but this is actually really badass. And in the menu, they've even added a roadmap, so you see they're planning another one for mid-2023. So I'm very excited to see what's still to come. Oh, I actually do have one more legitimate complaint. Two of them, actually. Catching up with Midas and beating the shit out of him is not satisfying. I only got back a fraction of what he stole from me. And then just one more little thing. What is this, like a fucking Dark Souls 3 quest? What the fuck? Why is he dead? I've had as much fun in this update as I have in the base game, which I think is really impressive for a post-game update, and I'm really looking forward to what else they'll do. The Fleece of Fervor's Favor lets you use... The Fleece of Fervor's Failure... The Fleece of Fervor's Failure... The Fleece of Fervor's Favor lets you use Fervor... Each fleece has its own set of levels that get harder and... I forgot I was doing a bit for this, hold on. Each fleece has its own set of levels that get harder and longer as you go on.